Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Myself is Karuna Gupta. Today in this session, we are going to learn about simple programs using Python programming language. Or we can say, these are sequential based programs. A sequence, you can say, in a programming language is a category whereby the instructions are executed in the same order as they are written. So without much waste, let's get started. To begin with Python programming, I open my Python IDLE from the start menu. Python IDLE by default opens in interactive mode. I need to go to File menu, click New File to begin with a new file. Now, in this program, I want to display a customized welcome message. So let me type the purpose of my program as a comment. Remember, comments in Python, they begin with a hash symbol. So I write display a customized welcome message. Now in this program, I want the user to enter his or her name, and accordingly the message will be printed by incorporating the name. So I use the input statement or the input function, you can say. Every function is followed by a pair of parentheses. Inside the parentheses, you can give a prompt. Prompt is the message that is going to display on the screen. So I write enter your name as the prompt. So whatever the user is going to type, that value gets inside in the variable name. Using the print statement, I now want to print hey followed by whatever is the username. Welcome to the world of Python. That's using another print statement. So I type my first program. After writing the program, I need to save the program. Go to File menu, click Save. The Python program will be saved as a py file. So you can choose your directory wherever you want to save. Let it be the default directory for right now. I want to give it the name, let's say welcome. As this file is already existing, so Python will prompt me to replace. At this point, I say yes. So my file has been saved. After saving the file, I need to go to the Run menu and choose the Run module option. Alternately, I can also use the F5 keyboard shortcut. So let's try running the program. See, the output is displayed in the interactive mode. It's asking me to enter the name. I'll give any name, let's say Dhruv over here. Pressing enter, Python has given me a message, hey Dhruv, welcome to the world of Python. So here you can see the program as well as the output window side by side. I hope the program is now clear. Let's try another program. This time let's work with some numeric data. So we will write a program to add two numbers, or maybe we can display all the arithmetic operations in one single program file. So I'll write the purpose of my program as the comment as the first thing, to display arithmetic operations. Students, you may get this question as a single question about one operation, or maybe two or three operations as a combined thing. So when I have to perform mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiply and divide, basically to perform these operations I need to input two numbers. So let us take this numbers as n1. I use the input function to take the number, but at the same time I need to convert the data being received from input into a integer form for the simplicity. You may take it float as well. So my first statement, n1 is my variable name equals to int input enter number. Enter number is the prompt written inside the quotation marks. Similarly, I take input for another number. This time the variable name, let's say n2. I say enter number 2. Right? Then using a third variable, maybe I can produce the result as n1 plus n2. Or you can also use the addition result directly in the print statement. I'll show you both ways. So here I am using a third variable answer, and I've evaluated as n1 plus n2. Next, I need to use the print statement to display the result. Let's say sum equal to, and then I write answer. Right? So to display the subtraction result, I can use the same print statement, but this time without this third variable in a direct thing. So I'll write, instead of sum, this would be difference, and after the comma thing I can directly use an expression to evaluate inside the print statement, like I say n1 minus n2, right? Similarly, I can also use the product operation. I'll change the message inside my double quotes. I'll write product here, and again I write n1 into n2. So students, it's up to you whether you want to take a third variable to calculate the result, or you want to evaluate directly inside the print statement. Completely up to you. Next, I am taking it for the division thing. Accordingly, I have just copy pasted the statement and I am using it, n1 slash n2. This would give me the result in decimal points, right? But next operation, if I take the floor division, remember floor division used to give me the result in whole numbers without the fraction part. So I write floor division, and for this my operator is double slash. We also have a modulus operator. Modulus is going to return me the remainder. So I write here remainder, and I use the modulus operator instead of slash, that is the percentage sign. Please don't be confused between the percentage, it is not calculating the percentage. The symbol percentage is used to calculate the remainder of two integer numbers. Next, we are left with the exponent operator, that is the double star. So I write in my double quotes the operation being done, and the symbol is changed to a double asterisk sign over here. We are done with writing the program. Let's save it. This will again be saved as a .py file. So I'll give it the name all arithmetic. It will be saved as a .py file. After saving, now you are ready to run the program. Let's run module. I'll get another interpreted mode window. Let me put them side by side so that you can understand the result clearly. It is asking me for the user input first, right? So let me give the first number, let's say as 20. The second number, anything, let us say 12. Or rather, that will be too heavy for the exponent part. Let's make it simple, 3. So I get the results, sum equal to 23, which is evaluated with the help of third variable answer, n1, n2, 20 plus 3, you're getting the result as 23. For the difference operator, I have calculated n1 minus n2. The values are replaced by n1 as 20, n2 as 3. And so I get the difference as 17, which is evaluated inside the print statement only. So please remember, you can either use the expression directly inside the print statement, or if you find the other approach, you can do it that way as well. Use a third variable to calculate the result, and then use that third variable in your print statement. Choice is ultimately yours. So let's take our third program for the day, which is finding the average of marks in 5 subjects input by the user. Alright, so I'll start with giving a comment as my first statement, the purpose of my program. Calculate the average of marks in 5 subjects. So very obviously, as the question says that I need to get marks in 5 subjects, I need to take 5 different variables, all being numeric in input. So I use int input statement to get the input in integer form. I'll write enter marks 1, or maybe any subject also you can write, let's say English. I am ending with 2 brackets over here. Please take care, because one bracket is for integer function, another bracket is for input function. I will be copying down this statement for 5 different subjects, M1, M2, M3. These will be the variable names that I give. So I have M2, M3, M4. No, that should be M2, 3, 4 and 5, and accordingly I will change the subject name over here as well. Let's say English, Hindi, the 5 basic subjects, mathematics, science and social science we will take. So I put it maths, science and social science and social science. So this will be replaced, the message, the prompt inside my brackets. So my input is now done. The next part that I need to do is calculate the sum total of all these 5 marks, or I may also directly calculate the average. Entirely your choice, as I told in the previous program. So let me explain you the first approach by calculating the sum, and then I'll be dividing it by 5. So sum will be evaluated as M1 plus M2 plus M3 plus M4 plus M5. After calculating the sum, I can take another variable, average equals to sum divided by 5. Students, the sum variable may be omitted and you can directly use the summation part, this expression over here as well, right? Finally, I need to display the average that has been calculated. For display, I have print statement, so I'll write average of marks equal to, and then I have to write the variable AVG. Students, again one thing more you need to take care. Inside a print statement, if I am combining a constant part inside the quotation marks and some variable, or maybe if I am using two variables, they need to be separated by a comma. So let's save the program and then we will see the output. Let's say I give it the name AVG, save it as a Python file, that means .py will be the extension, which is duly reflected in the title bar of my window. Going to the run module, or you can use the keyboard shortcut F5, right? So I have this in my interpreter mode. My first message, enter marks English. Let me put any marks randomly, like 82, 85, let's say 90. For science I have 92, and for social science again let's say 88. So the average of all these 5 marks is evaluated as 87.4. Let's move to another program which is about calculating the area of a rectangular park. Again I move to a new file. Students, for creating a new file, you can either use the keyboard shortcut Control N, or you can use the file menu new approach. This is a universal constant. By now I hope you are all clear with this. Control N to open a file, Control N to open a new file, Control O to open an existing file, right? So we are doing this program for area of rectangular park. This should be illustrated in the purpose as a comment. I write area of rectangular park. So to calculate the area, I need to input the dimensions, which is the length and the breadth. Let me take my first variable L. I'll rename it. I am using the same copied statement. Int input. Now instead of marks, I will change the prompt message over here. I'll put in enter length. Then similarly, I am just copy pasting this thing. I'll replace my variable name B. I'll be using for breadth, BREADTH, yes. So area will be calculated as length into breadth. You can use this calculation directly inside your print statement as well. Finally, you will be printing the area that you have calculated. So this is a simple program. Area equals to, you can say AR. Please take care of the case of your variables. If L and B are written in small letters, they should be used in the same case, the small letters everywhere throughout the program. If I am writing area with a capital A over here and I write a small a over here, Python is not going to recognize this and will throw an error, right? Again, saving the program. Let me rename area rectangle .py. Once the file is saved, I need to run the program. F5 keyboard shortcut. So it is asking me to enter the length, let's say 12, enter the breadth, let's say 7. So I get the area as 84. Now, I may modify this question a bit. This was a simple question. If I ask you to find out the cost of carpeting a rectangular park with, let's say, green grass at any given cost, so I'll change the comment over here as well. Find the cost. Find the cost of carpeting a rectangular park with green grass. So essentially the program remains the same, that the first step you need to calculate the area, but after calculating the area you also need to include the cost factor. Let us say if this cost factor is given to you as a part of question, you may take that constant or you may take that input from the user as well. Here I am taking it from the user. After printing of the area, or let's say we'll take the printing of area a step ahead, first I'll ask about the cost. So I'll write cost equals to, again, int input, enter cost of carpeting, two round brackets, two functions, one for int, one for input, right? So whatever is the cost that has been input by the user, accordingly the area is calculated as per dimensions, and the final cost can be displayed as the product of area with the cost. So I'll write total amount of carpeting, so with a comma I replace, and here I am not using any third variable. I am simply doing the calculation in my print statement only. As an expression this will be evaluated. Let's save the program again, trying to run. So I'll get the output over here. Okay, this was just because I gave a blank input. Let's try running it again. I'll make it full screen. Enter length. Let's say again I use the same length 12, breadth the same breadth 7. The cost of carpeting, let's say I want to make it ₹100 per meter square. So area is calculated as 84 units and the total amount for carpeting, that would be evaluated as 8400. I hope the output is clear to you. Now let's take another program which is about calculating of simple interest. Again a new file. So the purpose of program, calculate simple interest. I'll start with taking the input for calculating the simple interest. What is the input that we require? We require the principal, the rate of interest and the time period. So I'm just copying this statement and I will be taking that same for taking the input. My first variable here I am naming as P, or you may take the variable as PR. The choice is yours for naming your variables, but please take care that the variable definition, the variable names should adhere to the rules of variable definition. There should be no spaces, there should be no special characters, it should not be a keyword. All those rules that we have discussed in the first video. So here I give enter the principal amount, over here. I am sorry, I just pressed enter by mistake, and then I use the same statement to enter the rate of interest. I'll say RT for rate of interest. So the prompt is accordingly changed. I have it a rate of interest, and then my third variable has to be time period. So I'll take the input statement once again, changing the name over here. Let's say T for time period, and I say enter time period. This time period will be in years, right? And after that we will be simply placing the formula. So students, you must have noticed that these programs are very simple programs, formula based programs that I have taken from a beginner's perspective. So after taking in the principal, rate of interest and time period, My next statement should be to calculate the simple interest. I take another variable, let's say SI, and I apply the formula, which is PR, principal amount, into rate of interest, my variable name RT, multiplied by T, and all this has to be divided by 100, PRT. You must have studied this formula in your mathematics class multiple times. Finally, I will be displaying the output. Simple interest equals to SI. Again, please take care of the case of your variables. If it is defined in uppercase, you must be using uppercase. If it is defined using lowercase letters or the combination, it should be used appropriately. Once the program is saved, you can run the program. F5 keyboard shortcut. So here I have my output window. Let me just move it a little towards the right so that the program is also visible. Enter principal amount, let's say 5,000 rupees. The rate of interest, let's say at 12%. And the time period, if I say, is 5 years or maybe 3 years, whatever you want to take. So accordingly, the simple interest has been calculated and the amount is displayed to you after the processing. Alright students, now I'll show you one more program which is about swapping of two numbers. Now swapping is a concept that means simply interchanging the values. Whatever is the value inside my first variable, that should go into the second variable. Whatever is the value of second variable should go into the first variable. So for this again, I'll take two variables as the input. Let me name them A and B. So I am changing my message over here, enter first number and enter second number. I have first number, copy down this statement. I'll be using the variable name B, and then I change the prompt here, enter second number. After taking in the input, I'll first of all would like to print the original values. So I'll use over here original values comma A comma B, because I am using two variables to be printed, right? So I am using A comma B. Both the variables values, they will be printed in the original context. After this, for swapping, Python gives you a very easy approach if you write A comma B equals B comma A. Student, this means the value of the first variable on the right hand side goes into the first variable on left hand side. That means variable A is assigned the value of variable B. At the same time, simultaneously, variable B is changed with the value of variable A. Alright, now we can display the statements after the values after swapping using the same print statement, but here I will change swap values. That means after the interchange, whatever is the value, see, I am using the same context A comma B. Let me rename the program to swapping, which is duly reflected in the title bar. Again, running the program, run module, or you can use F5, enter first number. Let's say I give my first number as 45, enter second number, any number, let's say 23. So original values, for A it was 45, for B it was 23. And after swapping, for A it has become 23, for B it has become 45. So now let's take up one last question for conversion of temperature from degree Celsius to degree Fahrenheit. Since it's a new program, I need to take a new file, go to file menu, click new. First of all, I'll enter the purpose of my program as a comment. So I'll put conversion of temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit. So I start my program by taking the input for temperature in degrees Celsius. So let me just start with the variable name, let's say C for degree Celsius temperature. So I'll put the prompt as enter temperature in Celsius. To this, the user will be providing any integer output, integer number. After that, I'll simply apply the formula. Let's say temperature in Fahrenheit, this is evaluated as C into 32 multiplied C plus 32, I'm sorry. This will be C plus 32 multiplied by 9 upon 5. Right, so this is the formula for converting my temperature from Celsius to degree Fahrenheit. After this, I simply need to print the values. I can say temperature in Fahrenheit. It should be a N over here, HEIT, I'm sorry. So temperature in degree Fahrenheit, and after that you can display the value as per the variable F. This completes the program, a simple 3-line program. Let's save it. I'll give the name, let's say temperature conversion. Again, this will be saved as a .py file. So these are key points, students. You need to keep remembering them. Going to the run module, when I run my file, it is asking me temperature in Celsius. Let me take the input as 32, and I can get the temperature equivalent for Fahrenheit as 115.2. I hope, students, the programs that we have discussed today, they are pretty much clear to you. I have kept the program simple, keeping in mind that this is your first encounter with the programming language and this is your first programming session. We'll move to more complex programs, we'll move to more realistic programs in the upcoming sessions. Thank you.